Ha 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 ha. Game over. Press any button to continue.
Hit any button.
X. Every console has X.
Yes, except for mobile.
Mobile's not a console. Like, it's a gaming... I'm not saying
It's more powerful than the Mini NES.
But more on that later. This is Any Button, your weekly catch-up on gaming news and discussion.
We're your hosts. I'm Ben, the CEO of Double Dash Jump. I'm also Persona fan.
Big Persona fan.
Big Persona fan, like this big.
You're this big. Anyway, and
You should be mad.
I should be Matt. I'm presenter of the Game Club podcast and busy gamer.
This is the 18th episode of Any Button, which means it's now 18. It's legal in Australia, just like you, Tristan. And this week we've got the latest Soulsborne game, Crash Bandicoot, the SNES classic. Being able to buy platinums and not physically, because I would actually do that.
Oh my god.
DMCA checkdowns.
Okay, so now for our fan favorite segment. This week we've been playing, brought to you by you, our fans. I'm shortening that down to our Geek Week. Well, our Geek Week. And if this isn't your favorite segment, tell us what is, or maybe suggest a new one. We're not very creative. We don't have any writers. We just stand here and it just comes out of our mouths. But what was your Geek Week?
So mine was weird. I really didn't do anything. I started to watch the season 4 of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and the totally legit website I was trying to stream it through, the particular server crashed, so that went...
What? You mean a perfectly legitimate streaming service crashed on you?
Yeah, I think it was anonymous or something, not like LOL, Lizard Squad, something. I don't know.
You mean it was the hacker 4chan?
Yeah, probably.
God.
But I played a bunch of Marvel Future Fight on mobile, and also Magic Up Jump, which had a new update, which has a new league, which is like all the 8 leagues. So now you go to the Elite Four, which Toby's already beaten the new league, and he's got Mudkip, which was kind of anticlimactic. It just gives you an item. Spoilers. I learned a few new things about that. Like there's a hidden events that you can do, which I didn't know about.
What, the girl?
The Ghost Girl. You can also hit the hidden switch on the Eevee statue.
What?
Yeah.
That's a new one for me.
And I'm on my way to getting enough diamonds for Poplio,
So
which gives me hidden treasure and more diamonds.
And more stuff.
And more stuff.
Meanwhile, I'm just still on the Great League. I have stopped trying. It's just not the game for me. I can't do it. But what I have been doing in my Geek Week is...
Soulsborne.
Oh, Soulsborne. The new Soulsborne.
So, the new Soulsborne is Crash Bandicoot, the N-Sane Trilogy, which released 2 days ago, as of recording. And it wasn't really news that came out of it, but a particular review from Games Radars.
Games Radars.
It sounds a bit like too many S's.
Yes.
Louise Blaine review got circulated because of this one particular quote. Quote ellipsis. There's no avoiding that the controls just mean Crash Bandicoot has become Dark Souls, end quote.
What? Sorry, what?
I tried. I really did. I really, really tried to write like a coherent argument, but it was just...
I mean, the controls are hard, but that's just because...
It's a PS1 game.
It's a PS1 game. That's how the controls were, and the controls still are. I mean, I do have a catch-22 that if the controls weren't like that, we would be like, hey, what happened? What did you do to my Crash Bandicoot?
Yeah, but
you touched my Crash Bandicoot.
It's too easy. Fun
fact. Crash Bandicoot used to be called Willy the Wombat. It's hilarious. But if a new game was released with this control scheme, people would just pan it and it would get 2 out of 10, overwhelmingly negative on Steam.
No.
What?
Last Guardian came out, perfect reviews. I was trying to write like how it's not Dark Souls. Like you don't have stamina. You don't have like potions. You can't upgrade weapons, and then it's like basically it always just was like it's a PS1 game. It's supposed to be that hard. You just have to get good. Oh fuck!
It is.
It is Dark Souls.
It is Dark.
You just get good.
You just gotta get good.
Yep.
The only difference I think is with Dark Souls, it will just do something completely unfair out of nowhere on purpose. Like not a glitch. It's like purposely just bam, fuck you, you dead. That was one hit. Oh no, too bad for you. Whereas in Crash Bandicoot, you know you made that mistake. You go, damn, I shouldn't have hesitated, or I went too far. Like, you know you made that mistake.
Yeah.
Whereas Dark Souls, it's like you did everything right, but we just hate you. What's that? You can't pause the game? Oh, there's an invader in your house. He still died.
Yeah, but congratulations to Louise. You made a very entertaining meme. I love all the spin-offs. Like, I think the one that we're going to be displaying is from Warped, and it's just got like a Dark Souls 8 overlay UI.
It's beautiful. That did actually, when you showed me that, I laughed. So, more of nostalgia. The Mini SNES, or the SNES Classic, is the official title, which has been rumoured since the NES Classic, which I think it was just kind of our generational thing. All the people that I know were just like, where's the SNES? I don't care about the NES. Where's the SNES?
It's great because I've got a Game Boy Advance cartridge which has got like a bunch of NES games on there.
Like you still play your Game Boy?
No, until my DS Lite died, I just plugged it in there and I was playing it all the time.
You finally get that good Game & Watch goodness.
Just original Super Mario, Balloon Fight.
But these are all things that cost like
Dr. Mario. Oh my god.
But okay, so getting off track because what we're talking about will be the next few points. So just like the Mini NES, the Mini SNES is going to be very limited, and this is to counter piracy, right? Because if you look on eBay, there's these Mini NESs that are going for a lot of money, and they've got over 700 NES games on them. But the problem is, this doesn't counter not-for-profit piracy, because there's online communities dedicated to helping you help yourself to these over 700 NES games if you have a Mini NES.
Or you could just get a Raspberry Pi.
Yeah.
It's good pie.
Okay, I need to search for a picture now because there's a picture of, have you seen the John Carpenter's They Live?
No.
Okay, Jono, you've seen John Carpenter's They Live.
I was just thinking of Men in Black 2.
But, so he's got the sunglasses that reveal the truth, and he's looking at the SNES Classic, and then he puts on the glasses, and it's just a Raspberry Pi. So, yeah, I've already pre-ordered mine, and you better pre-order... Hang on. Oh, I'm getting it. No. Okay, it's already too late. They've already sold out.
They're 3 days too late.
You're 3 days too late. This guy was also 3 days too late. He should have told me on the day. The other thing is the original SNES, right? The plastic that they used actually faded into this like beautiful, ugly brown color. So I'm on the fence. Do I want that pure SNES where over time it slowly fades and you just don't want to look at it, but you want to play the games, but you don't want to look at it? Or do I want just a perfectly like fixed out of the box SNES?
Jen wants it because it's got Yoshi Island.
Yes, Yoshi's Island. That's my personal anecdote I was about to say. Did you read that?
No.
You didn't. I know you didn't, because you walked away when I was talking about it. Okay, now for my personal anecdote about Yoshi's Island, Super Mario World 2. I didn't own a SNES, but the SNES was my jam, and I was at someone's house, maybe not Cousin Dale's house, but another cousin's house. And
it's Cousin Dale. They're all Cousin Dale now.
They're all Cousin Dale. Okay, Cousin Mark's house, I think. Maybe. It was 2 decades ago, and I was playing, and it was good, but I remember Super Mario World 2, but I never owned it, so I walked away. These decades have passed, and my memories and the nostalgia of it, I had converted the fight that you have with Raphael the Raven into this epic, like huge 3D, kind of like Super Mario Galaxy fight, when in reality it's just 2D. Yeah, not great. But let's have a little bit more small news before Ben will take us on this like long 2-year journey that he's about to take us on.
It's called a roller coaster ride.
It's a
in
roller
the description.
Emotional roller coaster ride. So the quick news is Sony was a bit embarrassed this week because they got called out because there's this game called 5-Star 1000 top rated. It was on the PSN store, and the game...
I think it was the US only.
US only, unfortunately.
And maybe some parts of Europe.
Unfortunately for you, US only.
I don't have money. I don't have $1 to spend on a cheap platinum.
Well, yeah, because that's the thing. The game boasts quite, like, openly in its description that you can play this game for, like, 20 minutes.
It guarantees everyone will have the platinum in an hour and 20 minutes if you're a skilled player.
Yeah, so it was on sale in the US for 98 cents. It's like you just do a few tile puzzles and there you go, you've got a platinum. So that's why if you aren't acquainted with tile puzzles, then yes, it will take like an hour. But if you're like, okay, this goes there, then 20 minutes. So people were saying Colin was right. You explain this now because I don't.
Colin Wright was right is a meme from Podcast Beyond Days and when they transitioned into Kind of Funny.
Okay, because
even when he's wrong, he's like, I'm right.
Because you can buy platinums now apparently. So after a user tweeted at Sean Layden, president and CEO of Sony Interactive, also known for his crash shirt started E3 2 years ago.
If on reflection, I wish I had called it his Soulsborne shirt.
Yeah, well,
it's called a callback.
It's a callback. It's the key
It's
to comedy.
comedy.
Wow, this is really... Anyway, so the game has since been removed from the PSN store, though posts from the company's official website, it's a Facebook page, have suggested that they do intend to conform to Sony's rules, which at this point apparently only points to changing the name of the game and removing references to trophies in the description and the game trailer.
He was taking a public poll to find out what they should change the name to. He's like, I'm open to suggestions. It's like Super Puzzle Slider and stuff like that.
Super Ultimate Puzzle Slider Mega Hard Edition.
Yeah.
And be like, what?
I might go back and do that just for funsies.
Reached out to the developer. They believed that they would be able to have the game back up on the PSN store in about a month. When asked if they would be bringing it international, because we don't all live in the US. Ben.
It's a sad fact that Americans have to live with every day.
That's good. But yeah, they said they can try to make it happen.
Yep.
And now, Ben, take us on the journey. Should I sit?
I feel like you might sit, but I don't think you'll be in the camera.
Okay.
Do you have a stool?
I can't. Hang on. I'm gonna go.
Ghost, come here.
Now, one of the lucky viewers right now, I'm actually just gonna go into your house and just steal something. Okay, so let me just. Did that work? Was that like a 3D effect?
I think so.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay.
So
Tell me the tale. I'm gonna stand up.
Oh.
Whoever's that stool was, you can have it back afterwards.
So this story is a little bit cross-platform, pun intended. Because it's game industry and YouTube, so it's basically this hybrid industry we're in, games and YouTube.
Entertainment industry, if you will.
So it's a long story, but Alex Mauer, a game composer, was hitting YouTubers with DMCA strikes, which for people who don't know is the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, hitting them left, right, and center, and for anything with music that she composed, and in later strikes just for a picture that you can find on Google of herself. I started writing the story, and then just like as I was going, I was like, holy shit, this is a much bigger story than the few things I've watched. So I had to keep digging and borrowing, and it's insane. So I'm gonna try and condense it as much as possible and not drag it out for 2 years like this whole ordeal has been going on for. Where was I up to? So Alex Mao was hired by Imagos Studios.
Imagos? Some
Studios, according to the contract provided, it was to work on Stargazer and Stargazer properties, which I assume would just, at first read would be to be DLC, whatever, but it also turned out to be Stargazer DSP. On a contract for hire, which means that all the work that she does while contracted is Imagos's property and not her own, which I think got somewhere in there. At some point,
So
Alex...
Shouldn't Imagos Studios be hitting the DMCAs?
You would think, but they're not the ones
that are having the problems, okay?
At some point, Mao and Imagos parted ways. Imagos stating that Alex was suffering with health issues, which she wanted time off, and then it degraded. And they were understanding. They said, "All right, well, this isn't working out. You're a contractor. We're gonna part our ways. Here's the money for the work you've done so far, and a little bit more to make sure that you're all good." I think it almost totaling 40 grand, which is a fair bit of money. But according to her, they still owed her close to 10k.
All right.
Imagos put deals and offered different compensation things because they didn't agree with the 10ks. From getting money from total game sales and revenue, all that kind of stuff. She declined all of that. Somewhere in between here and there and now is where it starts to get blurry about what actually sort of what was said, and so Mao seems to think that Imagos breached her contract and therefore she actually owns all the music, then reverts back to her.
Yep.
In as well as being owed the extra 10k. The contract clearly says that all the music is owned by the company. It doesn't revert back. So this is when it starts to go downhill, and she starts filing DMCA takedowns. The first one she hit was Steam. So Steam revoked the game from early access because it's a Kickstarter project.
Yep.
And unfortunately, Steam's policies are sort of act now, review, and figure out all the details later.
Yeah. So that actually does explain why kind of payment was such a oddity, is because it wasn't a regular kind of publishing event. It was
a Kickstarter.
Okay.
So, but Imagos contacts Steam. They showed them all the paperwork saying that, well, the contract that she was contracted, we own all the music, so actually we're all up on the up and up. But I do believe the game is still unavailable because they're in the process of replacing all the music, probably just to make sure that whatever happens, she can't claim it down the future.
Yep. Which is probably the smart thing to do in the long run.
Skip forward a little bit, and Mao starts filing copyright strikes against YouTubers for just featuring the game, talking, obviously those who have got it early access from Kickstarter, talking about the game.
Yep.
Whatever, she's hitting them because it's featuring music, which isn't hers, but she's claiming is hers. And in different later cases, she also filed strikes for just having an unfavorable or an opinion about her. Or a story against her, I should say.
Hang on, what are we doing? Stop!
Wait, it's okay. In which we get to almost the present day where some YouTubers are at risk now because you get 3 copyright strikes and your YouTube channel vanishes.
Yep.
No appeals. And I think this is where I believe channels like Total Biscuit and Sid Alpha were formed from smaller YouTubers reaching out being, can you help us? Though I think Total Biscuit and or Sid Alpha were in contact with Alex Mauer before because I think she was trying to blow the whistle on Imagos providing information saying, look, they're doing me wrong. But yeah, Sid Alpha and Total Biscuit took this story as is now, signal boosted it, saying that this is not acceptable. You can't file over 70 false claims, especially to smaller YouTubers who can't afford lawyers to fight a legal battle. Not only that, it's a blatant illegal misuse of the DMCA
system. Like the whole...
Well, it's an act, so it kind of feels wrong to say act. It's like
the DMCA Act. Going to the ATM machine. Yeah.
Wow,
that is...
For those hit with the strikes, obviously, because she filed them, they reached out to her saying, hey, can you please reverse it? And she seemed perplexed that people were messaging her rather than the company. Because, well, you filed the complaint, so people are going to reach out to you, not other people who's not involved.
Did she, was she trying to file the complaint, the copyright for Imagos? Just
No.
Oh, well, I gotta do
No,
that.
she's at war with Imagos, apparently. So people started messaging and going, can you please reverse these claims, etc., etc. Worse thing is that she actually started trying to blackmail these YouTubers into complaining to the developers for her because she's, for whatever reason. So she actually said, quote, I did suggest to some who complained to me that I would reverse their DMCA if they were willing to redirect their complaints to the developer / complaints about the developer. No one was willing to do so, and I no longer want to offer anyone the possibility of having their DMCA strikes reversed. So... Just, what?
So blatant,
Blatant blackmail.
Yeah, blatant, just
Of
straight...
Just, I'm holding your YouTube channel hostage for you to do something for me because I have a problem with them, but they're in the legal right, apparently.
So I'm guessing, surprisingly, no one wanted to complain?
No.
Wow, I'm shocked.
As of now, I believe YouTube and YouTube Gaming currently going through the strikes she filed with Total Biscuit and Sid Alpha talking to YouTube, trying to speed up that process and make sure it's more successful for these smaller YouTubes. And informing them of the situation.
I'm surprised that they are doing it individually. When you get so many false cries, you just go, all right, all 70 immediately. But
well, I think because she has the music up on her Bandcamp page, the entire album is for sale for $1,000.
I'm sorry, what? Come again for Big Fudge?
The music that she doesn't technically own, she's put up on her own personal Bandcamp page for sale for $1,000.
Okay.
And while I was going over this story this morning, I found out that Total Biscuit tweeted out saying that Alex Mauer has actually been taken into custody after escalating from just DMCA to death threats towards Sid Alpha and Total Biscuit.
Oh, wow.
And others, of course, towards Imagos and the smaller YouTubers as well, I believe. And Total Biscuit said he personally doesn't intend to take legal action against her because she's clearly having some serious health issues right now. And that it's not fair to beat someone while they're down. However, I do believe, contrary to earlier statements from I think last year or the year before, from Imagos saying they don't want to go to a full-on war, I do believe they have now gone ahead with a legal suit for falsely claiming ownership of Imagos and others' copyrighted works, which I think sort of includes the false claims on the YouTuber's behalf, but I'm not quite sure. I'm not a lawyer. I know I probably missed something in this. I've done my best and trying to give you all the relevant information. There's a huge mega thread under the Jim Sterling subreddit. If you want to go check out that, and Sid Alpha and Total Brisket have a ton of videos.
Everybody's getting involved. Like this is a YouTube.
Yeah, this is a big YouTube gaming industry sort of problem, and hopefully Alex gets the help she needs.
Yes.
Like
it sounds like that she was on a dark path at the beginning when she was with Imagos, and that's why it didn't work out.
I think it was about halfway, about a year through. It started off all good, and then she started having a bit of a turn. So hopefully she gets the help she needs. Hopefully the YouTubers get all their channels back with no strikes, and hopefully Imagos can make a good game.
Yeah.
And just before we wrap up, just some quick fun news. Blizzard released pre-orders for a wicked D.Va statue. It's overpriced, I think, at $450, but it's nice, like, canon size to scale compared to the other Overwatch.
Here's the image here.
Compared to the other Overwatch statues, but it looks wicked. It looks cool.
Wait, so how big are the other like Overwatch statues?
I think they're 9-inch or whatever, and this is, or 9 or 12, and this is 19 or something. It's
okay.
It's pretty.
So it's size appropriate.
It's size appropriate. So the
the D.Va on it will be like smaller than Soldier kind of thing.
I think,
but the mech is.
I think so. I think it works out like that. They're all relative.
I'd be pretty disappointed if it's like you were to buy all the Overwatch figurines and then just like D.Va because they wanted to make the mech smaller, so she's like a hobbit. Like what?
Well, I guess it's more size proportionate than the pop vinyl.
Yes, that is true.
And for those of you with VR, the Spider-Man Homecoming experience is now available for a free download.
I've downloaded it, haven't played it yet.
I haven't downloaded it.
Crash. I need to beat Dark Souls 1 Crash Edition.
I'll probably try that out when I get home.
Yeah.
My VR's at my house, and I'm not at my house currently. As always, thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed this episode. If we missed a piece of news that you would have
missed it and then you found it and you want to tell us,
yes,
or just anything. It doesn't even have to be news. If you want us to discuss something, get our opinions on something,
yep,
feel free to send it in. Comment below.
And we'll talk about it next episode. Remember, Facebook is where we post updates and new episodes first, so like us and follow us there to see when we post updates, like that we've just finished recording, or that the podcast is going to be late, or the podcast is on time,
or etc., etc.
Or flashback episodes where I just put old episodes up for fun.
I'm going to apologise for the lighting. I have no idea what's going on. We look blue and pale for some reason. I don't know if that's going to come out in post.
But I don't
know. We look weird, and my shirt's really bright, but my head's really dark.
Yes.
Lighting. We don't have a proper studio. We just have a pretty good backdrop.
Yeah. And if you're not a social media person, hit the subscribe and bell. I don't know if that's being picked up.
I don't know either.
Down below, and you can get desktop notifications when this goes live, which is normally every Sunday.
Also, there's Twitter handles here.
Twitter handles, yes. We don't use them.
Oh, we just stopped being blue, I think, actually. That's weird. Thanks for taking that long. I don't know.
It heard the criticism.
Yeah, it hurt. The camera's like, one day I'll get my camera back from my sister.
One day,
when she stops taking pictures of her baby.
Damn babies.
Damn bubbles. That's why I should be Uncle Matt. Well, it's not that I should be. I just am.
You just need to make a new Twitter handle. I am Uncle Matt.
Yeah. Or is that Uncle should be Matt?
Matt Uncle should be?